There's nothing more beautiful or durable than a tile floor. But every tile floor has an Achilles heel, and that is the grout joints. The grout joints between the tiles then get stained really easily. And so I'm going to show you how to make your own grout cleaner from some materials you probably have in the house right now. Okay, so here's what you're going to need. Half a cup of baking soda. Put it right into a small bowl. 1/4 cup of hydrogen peroxide. Add that right to the baking soda. There you go. And 1 tablespoon of Dawn dish soap. I'll show you a little trick. Before you pour it into the measuring spoon, spray it with a little cooking spray. That'll help prevent the soap from sticking in there. It'll glide out a little more easily. There's also a great trick for honey or molasses, anything like that. See that? Almost all glides right out of there, nice and easily. Okay, so now we're going to use the spoon just to mix it up. You can see it's a beautiful color. And this will go a long way, as you'll see. You don't need much of this to clean even these grout joints, which are probably about 3/8 of an inch. This is a tumbled marble floor I put down 5 or 6 years ago. Not porcelain to look like marble, but actual marble. Okay, there you go. That's mixed up enough. Okay, so now we're going to scrub the grout joints with a grout brush. I don't know if you're familiar with this. This is a grout brush you can get at any hardware store, home center. You could use a toothbrush, an old toothbrush, but this is really much better. Really stiff bristles, nice and wide. So I'm just going to come down, get some of this right in there. Now you're going to scrub it into the joint. Now I'm just going to do this one joint, and you'll see the difference once I clean this up. Now we have to wait 10 minutes. All right, it doesn't clean it instantly, but we'll give it a good 10 minutes or so, and we'll be back right after that. All right, it's been 10 minutes. Our friend Will has come to see what's going on in here. See, we're cleaning grout. Want to help? No, of course not. Okay, so this solution has been sitting for a good 10 minutes. Now we're going to use our grout brush and scrub that joint. And you probably should do this for a good 3 or 4 minutes, depending on how stained it was. This one seemed pretty stained. Okay, that's just a few seconds. Let's see what that looks like. Use a paper towel, a sponge, whatever you can. Clean up most of that solution. What do you think? Smells pretty good, right? Well, okay. So now it's wet, of course. The grout joint is wet. So we're going to wait for it to dry. That's probably going to take maybe another 10 minutes or so. So we'll be back. Okay, so we've waited enough time for it to dry. It's not 100% dry, but it's pretty dry. And if you look, you can see it's a lot lighter. This is the grout joint I cleaned. Some of this cleaning solution spilled onto that joint as well. But you can see how much lighter it is than the surrounding grout joint, especially back here. Look how dark that is. By tomorrow, I'll check it again. If necessary, I can scrub it again with some more of the same solution. But I think that's probably fine. It's a lot lighter and cleaner than it was. And so what I would recommend, once you clean all the grout joints, you make sure it's very, very dry. It might take 2 or 3 days for it to all dry out. Then get some clear silicone sealer, grout sealer, and use an artist paintbrush. I found it's a little tedious, but it's the neatest way to do it, because some of them say not to get it on the tile. Well, how are you not going to get that stuff on the tile? So one way is to use an artist brush, just those little thin brushes, and just very painstakingly brush it on. And you'll see it'll absorb into that. I'd let it dry a day or so, then put on a second coat. And that will prevent it from staining as quickly and also from absorbing water. I want to talk to you briefly about your options if you want a tile floor that looks like stone. One option, as I installed here, this floor I put down about 5 or 6 years ago. This is a tumbled marble floor made out of natural, authentic stone. In fact, here's one of the tiles. It's solid marble through and through, and it's a beautiful tile with, you see this is just water, but when you seal it, all the grain and the patterns come through, just beautiful. So one option is to use natural stone. The other option is to use a porcelain stone that looks like tumbled marble. And again, it's tumbled marble, got rough edges, got veining in it. Now this is a glazed tile. It's made out of porcelain, and it's glazed to look like natural stone. Now, why would you choose one over the other? Well, first, a glazed porcelain tile that looks like stone is more affordable than authentic stone, real stone. It's a little easier to install, so it might cost the contractor less to install. He'll charge you less. You can cut it with either a wet saw or a score and snap manual cutter. Now, the advantage of this is that it's natural stone. Nothing else looks like this. All the cuts have to be made with a wet saw. You have to notch it or even just a straight cut. So that takes a little more time. So the contractor will be there a little longer, winds up costing you more. They're more fragile. You know, if you get a whole box of them, that's not unusual to find a couple of them broken. There are some imperfections, natural imperfections. So with that in mind, why would you ever choose natural stone over this? This seems like a much better deal, right? Well, I'll tell you why I prefer this, is that there's nothing that looks like natural stone. These resemble natural stone, but they come in only a certain number of patterns. After a while, they'll repeat themselves. Now, if you have a relatively small room, like a bathroom, you'd never see a repeating pattern. They're pretty good at changing the pattern. But this, every single tile is different. Nothing matches the sheer beauty of a natural stone floor. So keep that in mind next time you go shopping for tile and you want the look of stone. If you enjoyed this video, please support us by liking and subscribing. And I'd like to send a special shout out to our growing list of subscribers. Thank you very much. We appreciate each and every one of you.